There are several things you'll need to do when preparing for a career fair. Make sure you go onto the Ndsu Career Center website, www.ndsu.edu/career, to find the participating employers and research the companies you are interested in talking with. After researching, make a list of the companies you would like to approach at the fair. Keep in mind any time constraints you may have and/or how you'd like to rate each company. If you think your resume needs improvement before the big day, make an appointment prior to the fair with an NDSU career specialist. Once confident with your resume, take time to tailor it to the employers you are interested in, as well as printing off extra resumes just in case you want to share it with additional recruiters and employers at the fair. Make sure you practice your conversation starter before the event, telling someone quickly who you are and what you offer them. Last but not least, plan what you're going to wear a few days before the career fair. You don't want to have a wrinkled shirt or dirty shoes as a first impressions. They do matter.
Well, I made sure to have enough resumes and everything with me and be willing to talk to anybody. So the experience was really rewarding. It was easy to find people who were involved with agriculture. I'm an ag and biosystems major, but it was also fun to talk to people in the different engineering disciplines, and they were more than willing to at least learn what ag and biosystems engineering.
At first I was a little bit overwhelmed, Fargo was huge and it was seriously full with companies and so I was like, oh my gosh, who am I going to talk to? But the night before I made a list, I wrote down the booths of the companies, I did a little talking points sheet about what I can say to each one, prepped a little introduce myself spiel, and so I felt like I was pretty prepared, but at first I was a little, whoa.
Yeah, I remember the same feeling from last year, being really overwhelmed when I first walked in as a freshman, and obviously, they weren't really interested. And this year, I just went in there and I was like, I got this. And I didn't have much time. I had about half an hour to be in there, and went in, talked to my companies. I also made a list the night before. I printed off special cover letters for each one, and then went talked to them, got my interviews, and then took off.
Once at the career fair, you will receive a name tag. Make sure it goes on the right side of your chest. That way it's easier for representatives to see. Though it can be more comforting coming to the fair with buddies or friends, please be sure to approach employers alone. Be confident when walking up to an employer. Make eye contact and firmly shake their hand. One word to the wise, when deciding which companies to visit first, try not to let it be your number one employer or most desired employer. Try on someone else first. And remember, this is not Costco. Don't shop at the booths for their freebies.
Well, the first thing I did is I went on their websites, as well as a few of the others I talked to that day. And for example, Cargill has, I needed to set up an account and whatnot and kind of look at what job positions they had available. It was really helpful for me to review kind of what the company was about before going to these interviews today. So
I went home and got all my resumes back together in case I needed any references or transcripts. Made sure my phone was on, accept phone calls, get any more interviews.
Some frantic researching. More in-depth about which companies that I was getting interviews with and more about their internship program specifically. I came prepared with questions to ask, because that awkward moment at the end when they're like, do you have any questions? And you're like, no. So I tried to be prepared with questions and stuff.
Yeah, it is the same thing. Just tried to find some certain talking points within each company that I could really relate to, like mission statements, value statements, that kind of thing, and then how that related to me and how I could tie that in somehow.
So you have an interview. Congratulations! Before your big moment, you'll want to make sure you become more knowledgeable about the company through researching. Know their values, their mission statement, and basically as much information as you can. Be prepared to ask 3 to 5 questions for the employer, and it's okay to write those questions down. Again, make sure you are dressed professionally and don't wear too much perfume. Don't be too early for the interview. 5 to 10 minutes is appropriate. When the interview is over, make sure you take down the names of the interviewers so you can send them thank you notes. Then, take a deep breath because you did it.
The career fair, Expo, as well as these interviews today have just really helped me get a better grasp of what I want to do with my life, and that's been a really good feeling.
It is definitely a 10. I think that Ndsu provides such a great opportunity for us to meet so many different companies and to obtain internships, co-ops, and even full-time positions when we're getting into our senior year, that I think it was just a great experience, and I look forward to next year and in the spring too, I guess.
And I'd have to agree. I mean, I think it's great that Ndsu really cares about our futures and our careers, and they bring in all these companies just for us.
We at the NDSU Career Center will educate and provide career resources to NDSU students and alumni, and will encourage partnerships to connect them with employers. That is why we put so much work into career fairs like the Engineering and Tech Expo. If you have any questions or want to make an appointment with us, please feel free to call 701-231-7111. See you soon.